Good morning, everyone. Hope your evening went well. It was pretty nice, actually, last night. It was in the low 90s, high 80s, very low humidity last night after boxing, and I had the basis for evaporative cooling. I was carrying it around with me after pretty heavy-duty exercise, so enjoyed sitting on the deck a little bit before I took Henry out, and because the weather was so warm, Henry was actually pretty tame on his evening run. So it was a good evening. Good evening for all. Hope it was for you too. Several more days in the 90s. We actually do have some moisture in the forecast in the form of occasional showers starting on Thursday night. We desperately need it. The wheat crop is in a lousy condition, and it will add to food inflation. Pretty quiet news week. Not much going on, and you know that when we wake up, all anybody's talking about is last month's FOMC minutes. I doubt if they're going to show anything. They'll show consensus that the taper should continue. They'll show consensus that economic growth is on the rebound in the second quarter. They're confident that it is, and maintain current policy as it goes. Interest rates will be kept low until they see a recovery in the job market. Their two biggest concerns will be the job market, and they might even start to question the second leg of their financial growth forecast, which is the return of the private real estate market, single homes sold to individuals. A lot of the growth so far this year in the real estate market starts has been in multifamily, and that's typically the case under soft economic conditions. There are a lot of articles written these days about doesn't even pay to own a house anymore. And I remember, as a lot of you will, back in the 70s and 80s, where a home wasn't considered an investment. It was a home. And when you moved into it, it might take 3 to 5 years to get your closing costs, all the other little things that you had to do to make that house yours. So anyway, the real estate market is definitely soft. I don't see any spec commercial real estate in Wichita, and we've got a fairly stable economy with Spirit here that supplies Boeing, with Cessna that in Lear in the business jet side, and with agricultural products, meat and grains, and then natural gas and crude. So our unemployment rate's around 5%, with the biggest hits coming in the closure of aircraft plants. So the fact that we do have unemployment in the 5% range, low fives, and we don't see any spec real estate, it's all build to suit, shows you that the real estate market isn't all that strong. Lots of see-through buildings here in Wichita. Little small strip shopping centers with one anchor tenant, the tenant that the whole deal was put together on. And so I think the economy is not as strong as the headlines would have us believe. So what are we looking at right now this week? The dynamics of the market right here. 125.5 for puts, 126 even for calls. That means we've got great support at 16, and we've got resistance at 126. And you can see that we've had a hard time cracking 20. So I'd like to buy 21s to 17s. The key number is 21 right here, but it may take 25s to get into a position. All depends on the direction of the E-mini. And it's pointed higher right now, so we have a chance to buy cheaper. But I'd like to get in along down here in this 21, 22 area, right down here, but I don't know if we can get there. The attractor is this high volume number at 25. So a buy at 25 or better is what the structure says is okay. On the sell side, selling 31s to 03. That's pretty easy to see. And then 7s to 11. No news this morning. You got MBA mortgage index. Don't even bother putting a number out. You've got crude inventories minus 100,000 barrels, and you got the FOMC minutes later. So direction of the E-mini will be the first. FOMC minutes will be the second, all tempered by the dynamics of option expiration coming on Friday. A lot of people are starting to roll out of their June options, putting those into September. And so we're going to have really, really good support at 16 and resistance starting at 126. So that's it for the note. Okay, the knob spread came in, and we said that it looked like it was and would, and it has. So we might get a little more action to the downside in the 30-year today than we will in the note. And you can see that we've got a little more selling. So we got a shot to buy this thing on the cheap. So we got pretty good support at 24. And then the next little band of support down here is in the 12 to 16 area. So let's make 21s, 17s to 21s. Our buy on the hopes that the knob spread can come in a little bit. And then 9 to 13. And on the sell side, we got a pretty clean break right here at 03. We're at 29. So make 31 to 03, sell 1. Pretty aggressive. And then 7 to 11 for sell 2. And the reason for this aggressiveness is that the knob spread is coming in a little bit. So if it stops coming in, we'll monitor it throughout the day. We'll adjust our calls from there. No news to drive today's trading. Option expiration on Friday. 136 to 138 is where the play is as of last night for the 30-year on options expiration. Okay, gold last night didn't do much. Crude did. So we left yesterday's market on gold wanting to sell 97 to 1300, and we came in just under 97. Didn't take out yesterday's high. And we got down, we're in our first buy zone from yesterday, 88 to 90. We'd like the 85, 87 area better, so we'll lower our buy this morning. Russia signed a 30-year natural gas deal with China. That's confidence, isn't it? I got 30 years of reserves right here in nat gas, and I'm going to make a long-term deal with China. They're working on a long-term deal with India. Also, I don't think India and China will put themselves in the position that the European Union did, making them totally beholden to Russia. It was close to 50%, now it's down to 30%. Just like the United States has made themselves totally beholden to Russia for any launch that we have into space, including military satellites. So who in their right mind could even entertain that kind of a thought? And the answer is a government. And the worst possible decisions are usually made by governments because they reflect the status quo, the powers that be, decision made by committee, untimely just because of the fact they're made by committee, etc. So, and then you have some naive political ideologies that drive a lot of that. And Russia's our friend forever, and we can depend on them. Countries act in their national interests. And if you ever forget that, you open yourself up to a lot of trouble. Dictators need boogeymen to stay in power when things get really, really bad. Whip up an incident with somebody else. And when Putin's authority has been questioned, Georgia was convenient for him. Now the Ukraine is convenient for him. The Russian economy is in terrible shape. It's not growing at all. But he can really increase his popularity by going over there and smacking the Ukraine around, and Putin's popularity has jumped right back up to where he wants it to be. Okay, very, very strong market. Market rallied late yesterday. It's held those gains. We had a 103, 103 and a quarter was our second sell zone. We were basically selling for the overnight session. 102.50, 102.75 blew right through it. So we got pretty good support in the 75 area. So we'll make 50 to 75 buy one. And on the sell two side, we'll open it up. I don't see that the news has really changed all that much, but the market is trading higher. Could be that there's actual economic growth going on around the world. I don't see it in the reports, but every central bank and government in the world is saying that the economy is growing. The world's economy is going to grow at least 3.5%. Okay, the euro held its own last night. Didn't really move all that much. It has started to move this morning. We had kind of a split profile. Volume was pretty square, like a D. And that means you're looking for a new move. TPOs were decidedly a B. And a lot of people don't really appreciate this, but the banking community of Europe jumped all over the profile when it first came out. And so financials and the Forex markets really do trade the profile well. And they know how to read it and they know how to play it. Okay, we've been talking about all week how this 25 to 50 area was good resistance, and we wanted to get short every time we had a chance to get short in this area. And you can just see right here how 25s hold. Now, we didn't quite make it. Yesterday we left the market wanting to sell, I believe, the 20 to 30 area. May have been a little lower, maybe 10 to 20, I forget. I didn't write it down. And our first buy, we like the 75 to 85 area. And again, that just kind of comes from this zone right here. So we got really good support down at 50. I'm not sure we're going to be able to break 50, so we'll make buy one. 65 to 75, buy two, 45 to 55. On the sell side, 90 to 137. Try to let them probe into that sell zone, and 15 to 25 for sell 2. And everybody's favorite contract, the E-mini. We are really stuck in a range, and we'll go take a look at the F1 screen first. And you'll see I've got it set on weekly. And you can see that we've got really good support in this 60-65 area right across through here. And we've got really good resistance this 85 area. So 80-85 is resistance, 60-65 is support, and we're just right in the middle. And if you put all of this together, still dealing with a very strong P off the low, and we're looking for a move out of this 72 area. As you can see right here. So a lot of people, I mean, nobody's given up on 1900 for the E-mini, and there was one fellow that said we'll make 1950. The second quarter will finish strong, and if the market's going to sell, it'll happen in the third quarter of this year. I don't have a strong feeling today. I mean, it's a trading range market, no doubt. There's not any news to drive today's trading to speak of. Support held. Got buying out of London. So when we come in and we take a look at this screen, structurally, where is resistance? Well, we have this tumble that started in G period out of 77. So the 75, 77 area, basically a market number, and then our 79, 81 for sell 2. On the buy side, the last rotate down was 70, then the end period low was basically 69. So we've got this 68, give it a little room, 70 area for buy 1. And then we'll make it 63, 65 for buy 2. This market, when it has rallied, has made us pay up. So I don't really look for a lot of selling. If we can get through this single print right here until we get 77 to 80. So this is where the sellers have been, and you can see it with this F period high and this G period high. It's the area that was rejected, 77 to 80. So we'll see what we get. It's pretty quiet trading. No news to drive the market. FOMC minutes, and we're so stuck for news. Normally, people are curious about what's in the FOMC minutes, but they're not basing a lot on them. And the lack of news is going to make the FOMC minutes much more important than they normally are, just due to the lack of news. Okay, it'll take about 15 minutes to get everything up and around. I'm going to get busy on that. In the meantime, good trading. I'll be back as soon as I can.